Hey guys, it's Larry with Packmaster Dog Training here. I have been overwhelmed with phone calls and emails in the past couple of weeks about people having some issues with e-collar work. Most are regular pet owners that have either been through another trainer or have done the work themselves, and I've had several trainers call with the same issue. Okay, the issue is they do the e-collar work like they think they're supposed to. They think the dog's ready to be off leash. They go out to a public place and the dog fails miserably as soon as he's off leash. And it's the same thing over and over. Let me explain where you're going wrong here. Okay, for one, many people are failing to put in the amount of repetitions needed to truly teach the dog the meaning of the e-collar. It takes many, many repetitions. I've done plenty of stuff out there on how to condition the dog to the e-collar and all kinds of work. I've had several people say, why do I keep filming the first session but not the second session? Very simple. The first session is really important because after that you're continuing to do the same thing for several weeks over and over. You're putting in a lot of time, a lot of repetitions, very short sessions. Dogs learn through repetitions. You have to put in the time. And I'm not talking about going out and spending a half hour to an hour at a time. I'm talking 5-10 minutes here and there several times a day. That's how they learn. Okay, now what happens is people think the dogs are ready to go off leash. They're doing great around the house. Let's say the dog works on a level 6 on a mini educator. That's the e-collars I use. That's pretty average, pretty common. Where the average dog owner or dog trainer is making a mistake is they take the dog out, they go to a public place because their dog's responding very well off leash. They let the dog off leash, they have their e-collar set on a number 6, same level that the dog works on around the house without distractions. Then the second there's a major distraction, a real world distraction, let's say other dogs or people or animals, the dog takes off and blows off the handler completely. Has no meaning at all, like the dog's never been trained with the e-collar. Very simple. Here's the problem. When you go out in public like that, for one, you should transition off a long line first. So what I tell people to do is get out there and maybe put on a 30-foot line and start training around those distractions before you just release the dog. Number two, if your dog works on, say, a number 6 around the house with no distractions, you don't go outside with that collar set just like you're working around the house. You have to have it set much higher for the real world distractions. So let's say you have it set on a number 18 and number 20, and the number is not important. I'm just saying it has to be a lot higher. I'll give you an example. My little boy is 6 years old. If he's sitting on the couch and I say, hey Renzo, I need you to go wash your hands. Hey, not a problem. He's going to get up, he's going to go wash his hands. Now, let me do the same thing when we're in Chuck E. Cheese. If I say, hey Renzo, I need you to go wash your hands. He's not going to hear that. It's going to be meaningless. It's kind of like that with the e-collar. When you go out around real distractions, okay, you have to be prepared for what if. Nobody's preparing for what if. So here's what I tell people to do. Go out, if you're going out for the first time to a public place, have your dog on the long line, 20, 30-foot line. Have your e-collar set higher than it normally is. You're going to need it. The dog's not going to feel the same levels that he does when he's around the house. Okay? Give the dog plenty of room to roam on the long line. As he's roaming around, he sees something major. Start practicing calling him away with the e-collar set a little higher. See how he responds. Okay? If he's not responding at all, then chances are you have to go up a little higher on the e-collar. This is normal. This is normal. The dog's always going to need a higher level when he's around major distractions. For the average person, okay, I don't really change the level of e-collars when I go out, but my dogs have been trained properly with the e-collar. Okay, so you have to do this. You cannot expect to release the dog without a leash and expect to have great results. You have to transition to that. Put the dog on the long line, go out and practice around real distractions. Then once the dog is coming to you every time, 100% of the time, then you know he's ready to be off leash. But before then, take your time, please put in the repetitions, and then use the long line with a little higher level e-collar and practice around the biggest distractions there are. That's how you train for a foolproof recall and a very reliable dog. So I hope this helps. Thanks.